Time, weather, and...
Audio Jungle.
Welcome to my channel today. I truly appreciate you being here today. I really do. You know, I started this channel because of silver stacking and what I saw as what is coming with the economy. And for at least 2.5, 3 years, I pumped out a bunch of videos about it and I talked about the banking crisis. And what I have learned is that the masses just don't get it. And I got tired of being beaten down by the algorithms, and I am still very much a silver stacker. I am still very much into um, mining stocks because I realized that we're going to have our day. And as I started to realize it, I realized I was letting my health get out of control. And I was diverting so much of my energy and resources to learning and educating myself about, silver, gold, the mining stocks, and blah, blah, blah. The list goes on and on and on. And then I just watched my health spiral out of control, and I decided I got to get knowledge on this because just like what you see on every single government report, inflation, whatever, it's all bullshit, okay? Pardon my French, but it is. So you have to learn this stuff yourself because if you don't, you're using faulty data right from the get-go. And I got discouraged because my clothes weren't fitting, my blood pressure was getting higher, and I went to the VA one day and I was 1 point away on my blood pressure that the doctor was going to be forced to have to call an ambulance and take me away. So I decided I had to do something about it. And then when I realized type 2 diabetes is an illness that the average American ignores. More than 37 million Americans have diabetes that's about 1 in 10. And about 90 to 95% of those people have type 2 diabetes. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what's impacting my life, which is impacting the life of many people that you know also, if not yourself. Type 2 diabetes most often develops in people over the age of 45, and more lately it's affecting the teens and the young adults. That's just what's happening recently. If you have it or think you have it, you better do something about it before it does something to you that you don't want to happen. Because type 2 diabetes is 100% preventable. But in order to do this, a person needs to make changes in how they live their lives. Of course, a person does not have to make this change, and they can let the natural progression of diabetes take over and dominate their future everyday life. Let's take a quick look at how this silent thief takes your health. As we live the moments of our lives every day, you may or may not have realized that your whole life is centered around food. Everywhere you go, every event you go to, food, food, food. Yeah, we need food. We have to. But what we're doing is we're bombarding our bodies with carbohydrates and we're chipping away at our health. It's not one cigarette that kills you, it's 50 cigarettes a day that kill you. And type 2 diabetes is often referred to as insulin resistance. And this is what you need to understand as to how to prevent it. To put it in simple English, what people do is they often eat food that's high in carbs. Now, we talked in previous articles and videos, the articles on the website, video on this channel, we learned that our bodies believe that all carbohydrates are just sugar and need to be digested. Through digestion, our body pumps out insulin to break down the carbs. Since the typical American eats an extremely heavy carbohydrate load daily, this takes a toll on the human body. Because of our overindulgence of simple carbohydrates, the cells within our body start to become immune to the insulin our body is producing. As the years click by, Our pancreas needs to continually going into overdrive because it has to get past the immunity that our body is also developing. And then left unchecked, this just keeps going on and on. Your body has to produce more insulin to get past the insulin, and then left unchecked, there may come a time when your body just says, I'm done, and it stops producing any insulin. And well, life does not get prettier once this fully preventable disease becomes your daily reality. Eventually, your pancreas can't keep up and just stops doing anything. Now you have a real problem. You can do what you want, but I have learned that I do not want to have this disease. I want to get off my metformin. I want to get my blood pressure down. Most people in my situation ignore these signs, just like I did, because they feel fine. And that's the sad part. I sit here today and I tried to come across as honestly as I could trying to explain this message. I am not a doctor. I'm just tired and have realized that we no longer leave the doctor's office without a prescription. I just realized that the only time my wife, who passed away, left the doctor's office without some new prescription was when they told her she was going to die. Interesting, actually. You have to understand your carbohydrates to understand type 2 diabetes, because the only solution that the doctors most likely will give you is metformin. Now, I'm not telling you not to do what your doctor is suggesting, but you have to understand what's going on with type 2 diabetes and metformin in your insulin production. A quick recap is carbs minus fiber minus protein. If you have a positive number, then you need to minimize this positive number as much as possible and as often as possible. This carbs minus fiber minus protein is your magic number, because if your body is producing insulin, it is storing fat. If your body is not producing insulin, you're burning fat. It's really that simple. Losing weight and many of your prescriptions may also go away. It's all choices, actually. And whether to have type 2 diabetes is one of those choices. Semper Fi.